Living the life, living large, Tony's in charge. He's got the knowledge, the skills, and the art. Streaming live, stock trading all day, helping people learn and make money their own way. From Wall Street to Tokyo, Tony's got the flow. Teaching the game, ain't nothing to show. He's got the charts, the trends, and the moves. Making profit, making moves, his groove. Trade with Tony, he's the man. Learn from him, you'll join the winning band. Making money worldwide, it's a blast. Trade with Tony and making fortune fast. Living the life, living large, Tony's in charge. He's got the knowledge, the skills, and the art. Streaming live, stock trading all day, helping people learn and make money their own way. From Wall Street to Tokyo, Tony's got the flow. Teach you the game, ain't nothing to show. He's got the charts, the trends, and the moves. Making profit, making moves his groove. Trade with Tony, he's the man. Learn from him, you'll join the winning band. Making money worldwide, it's a blast. Trade with Tony and making fortune fast.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a brand new week. Day trading with Tony on a brand new week. It's the third week of April now, and it's the first week in earnest of Q2 earnings. So we've got quite a few earners this week, including Netflix, a lot of the big banks. So we should see some volatility, guys. No, I didn't trade it. I was configuring something with regard to my my platform there, mate. Just being a degenerate on the basis of trying to fix what was broken on Friday. Good morning, Lisa. Good to have you back. Mike, always one of the first ones. Stone Cold, good morning. Shift fail. Yeah, I saw Hub Cybersecurity, Nextplat, Indo, call it. But I went and I was having something to eat, so I didn't trade it. My trailing stops weren't working properly, but it wasn't just my trailing stops. I found out there was I accidentally clicked a button or a checkbox or whatever it is. I accidentally clicked a checkbox on Friday, or was it Thursday night, Friday morning, something like that. That basically meant every time I tried to set a stop order, whether it be a range stop, a market stop, or a trailing stop, the only thing I could actually put was a limit stop, and it wouldn't allow me to execute a stop. So I was trying to fix that, and I was playing around with it, and I ended up taking a trade so I could try and check that it was working. It was working. It is working now, but yeah, it freaked me out on Friday, but managed to get, you know, over nearly 4K out of that trade, even without a trailing stop. So there we go. Weekend could have been better, mate. It could have been worse. Arsenal could have won, but yeah, watching Liverpool was absolutely horrendous yesterday. Not a good watch. Like the wheels have fallen off the bus. Shut up, Alistair. At least you guys beat Spurs. Gives you a chance of a Champions League spot. Got to get ahead of Villa though. Mind you, there might be 5 this year. Might be. Doubt it. Based on Thursday's performance. But if we can turn that around, we might be able to get you 5. There's the 8 o'clock scrum. The algorithmic settlement trades. So market makers and settlement houses and that's what they just put the algorithms that settle trades, and it throws those spikes up. It's not. It doesn't actually affect the price. Oh, Arsenal was 2-0. Arsenal lost at home 2-0, which that's a bonus because they lost more than we did, which brings the goal difference down slightly if that comes into play. It doesn't look like it's going to come into play because I can't see Manchester City losing any more games, so they've really got it on them. So, look, it is what it is. Not a lot moving right now. VCIG just popped up, breaking highs. It's under $2, but it's going to get rejected there at the $0.50. If it can get over that, we'll see what happens. Let's see if there is a catalyst for VCIG. VCIG and VCI Global hits key growth milestones by completing its second technology acquisition, a leading gamification platform serving global brands. So that's the news drop that's just dropped on VCIG. So that potentially could move some. Let's see, the volume's coming in. Let's see, it's getting a bit cold, so I'm just going to change it to fan. Better. Oh my goodness, the latency is like 3 seconds or something like that. So no following me blindly will result in tears, no doubt. Good day on Friday though. Only takes the one trade. Only takes the one. Always the case. Rent the runway. 4K on that. Just shy of 4K on that. Finished the day 4,300 gross. Longer Baron, Jasmine, it popped up early, but it's underneath the VWAP. But Longer Baron is it went up to a high of 315 around 7 a.m. No, about 5:30, and then around 7 a.m. it had another one up to about 280. So it's underneath the VWAP. It's not looking like it's going to go all the way up again. But we'll see. We'll see. It's looking weak at the moment. Let's have another look at VCIG. Did hit 155. Nice catalyst. Excuse me. Oh. Oh well, the VCIG just that was a pop and drop. Absolutely. Goes to show. Yeah. So why is it up 85%, Jasmine? Well, on Friday after hours on Friday evening, they reported they filed a couple of a number of Form 4s with the SEC, which showing some significant insider buying. That's the only thing that I'm seeing in terms of catalyst is why it's moving up today, because the last trading day was Friday, and after hours on Friday there was some significant insider buying. That's all. That's the only thing I can see, at least. That's why longer Venom was is moving up. Or moved up. No, it's totally legal. It's not insider buying. It sounds nefarious. It's not. It's basically a director is buying shares of the company's own shares. So if you're if you're a director, if you're on the board of a company and you don't own shares, that basically suggests to the market that you don't believe in your own company. So it's normal for every board member to not just get shares that they're acquired as part of the compensation package. They want to be investing, they seem to be investing in the company as well. So they want to be going out to the open market and buying shares off the open market as well, increasing their stakeholding in the company. That shows a sign of confidence in the company, and it's usually a bullish sign as well. Hence why the stock price has gone up this morning. I could have had a better weekend, Adam, but we'll not talk about sport. Me and the missus sat on the sofa watching the game, beer in hand, wearing our replica sweaters, and yeah, both of us very disappointed. What's going on with this one? Have a look at Onvo. Is there a catalyst for Onvo? ONVO. Organovo Holdings is the company. Organovo Holdings announces phase 2 results of a clinical trial, saying the study subjects receiving the treatment achieved statistically significant reduction in liver fat content from the baseline. So fatty liver treatment. Catalyst. Organovo Holdings. ONVO. More personally, I think Rivian is overpriced. Not so much overpriced. I think it's overinflated. People are making it like it's the next best thing, and you know, it's sliced bread, and I don't believe it is, personally. They're not making money, is the bottom line. If you're talking about a long-term company for a long-term investment, so I'll trade Rivian. I've no problem trading Rivian, as long as it's got a good catalyst and good momentum. But it's not something I would put on my portfolio because it's losing money. Any company that's one of the rules of long-term investing is find something that's got a good balance sheet, that's actually making profits, that's a strong economic moat around the company itself. So if it's what I mean by that, think of that terminology, economic moat. Is think about the castles of like hundreds of years ago. They used to have this big river running around the castle to protect them from invaders and protect them from enemies. That's what we're talking about with an economic moat. It's actually got strong defenses, economically speaking, against the market, whether it be market conditions, whether it be competitive advantage, whether it be innovation, whatever the situation. Strong economic moat means it's a strong company from an economic standpoint. So that's the first rule that you want to be looking for long-term investments. You want to see something that's growing, something that's innovative, something that's relevant. All these are very key factors when you're going into the fundamental research for building your portfolio. Yeah, Oscar, absolutely. So NVIDIA is a perfect example of something with a very strong economic moat. They're very relevant. Buzz topic of the moment is AI, of course. They're in that sphere, but they're also in other spheres as well. They've got a very cash-rich balance sheet. They're very strong in the technology that they're in. So NVIDIA, for me, is a very good stock to be getting in, and of course, even now, I don't think it's overpriced. I think it's still got a lot of room to the upside, which is why I'm sticking with it. And it's the largest portion of my portfolio today. So yeah. Well, yeah, Rivian trucks are not the best looking, but then again, neither are Tesla trucks. I mean, come on. You actually seen a Tesla truck? It's a horrible looking vehicle. Terrible. The Tesla Cybertrucks, it's horrible. It might be innovative and it might be, there's some good technology on it, but let's face it, Tesla vehicles, the build quality is poor. I'll go on record and say that. The build quality of a Tesla compared to, let's say, another top quality EV of a similar price, it's not even a patch. Yeah, my dad's picking up his EV next at the end of this month. So he's getting a full EV, and I'm like, you should have gone for a hybrid. It's just better value. And I was explaining, and he's talking to me about the whole sales pitch that they're giving him, bless him. And I'm like, it's a sales pitch. The whole economic piece. It's like, well, how much it's going to cost per mile is significantly less than if he kept his diesel that he had. He had a diesel Merc. And I'm like, well, that's a false economy, because you're still going to be paying the electric. You're still going to be, and when it starts talking about emissions, I'm like, well, the emissions have just moved from your exhaust pipe to the power station. And in the long term, it's not going to be much difference in terms of cost of running either, because you're going to have to replace the batteries, which is at what, 20k at the moment for an EV battery on a vehicle. So almost as much as the car itself in a lot of cases. We touch technology. Let's have a look at where. top momentum stock at the moment, above $2. No, Oscar, I got rid of my Bitcoin last year. I know who we put another Chinese stock, but I'm just trying to find out is it a catalyst. Benzinga is very slow today. I'm not seeing any company-specific catalyst. Bit of a pop and drop anyway. Popped up and it represented where it wasn't. So that was a scan of having a bit of a meltdown, right? It was at 20%, but it's not. Well, you can have a look at them on Benzinga. So if you're in Benzinga, go into the details widget, and it says company sells touchscreen products both domestically in China and internationally, covering majority areas in China, Taiwan, South Korea, and Germany. So they offers touchscreen for a variety of applications, including GPS. Stroke car entertainment panels for the automotive industry, industrial human machine interface, financial and banking terminals, point of sale, lottery and gaming machines, smart home robotics, charging stations, and it just says China internationally, so it's a Chinese company. I just stubbed my toe, you dirty fillet fish. That hurt. Hey, Lewis Dram, a wee dram. You sold your car, good stuff. What car was it? And did you get a fair price? I'll be in the market for a car soon. I've got a few different fingers in different pies there, Oscar. I've got mostly online stuff. I do consultancy in the tech space still. So I've got that. I've got a couple of online businesses. Obviously, a lot built around the trading sphere. I've got the trading. I've got the education, the platform. I've got obviously the affiliate business. I've got e-commerce, a couple of e-commerce stores. And the consultancy that I do on a semi-regular basis now. Unfortunately, Lewis, I don't dream about cars. I'm not a big petrol head. You know, it's quite frankly, I think if I lived in a place that supported it, then maybe a DB8. Nice motor. No, I don't tend to bet on sports unless it's the Grand National, or occasionally I might have a flutter on the boxing. But I've kind of got away from gambling on sports. Yeah. What do I think about the markets? That's a good question, Lewis. Let's have a look at the markets, shall we, guys? We've not spoke about the markets. So the S&P 500 gapping up this morning. It's kind of sideways and choppy. Let's have a look on the 15-minute. You'll see what I'm talking about. It had a bit of a sell-off on Friday again, but it's gapping up this morning, but it's sideways and choppy from where it's gapped up. It's not really doing much. So let's look at it on the daily. Some people get this big red candle, getting the kind of the downward swing that we're going in there, saying we're now entering a bear market cycle, and I don't believe it for a second, because when you zoom out, let's just look at the bullish channel that I drew here. You zoom out, we touched the top of this bull market channel here. We were hyper extended up here at the highs. So coming back, topping, actually breaking into it slightly. Got a wick into the top of this channel, as you can see there, below 510, and now we're gapping up, looking at a potential bounce. I'll start worrying if it gets below the this median line here. And then we enter the kind of bear market territory again as we start getting below this line here. So this is, as it stands right now, this is for me bull market channel. Anywhere between this median line and the top line is still bullish. Anything above is hyperextended, due a pullback, which we've got. So breaking into this area or a kind of sideways, that's for me healthy. If we get a big pullback below this median line, then I start to get a little bit concerned. But that's the SPY. SPY is the Spider S&P 500. It's an ETF from State Street, which tracks the SPX or the S&P 500. So it's a good way to actually track the S&P 500 yourself. And if you're in your late teens or early to mid 20s and you're looking for something to invest in on a regular basis, and I say on a regular basis, just putting a lump sum in and then leaving it there, that's not really going to do much. Okay, so what you want to be doing is investing on a regular basis. So lump sum averaging, dollar cost averaging, but lump sum averaging. So if you've got if you're earning a wage right now, a good way to actually build for your future is go and stick it. Buy what is it, 500? You buy 10 shares every month, or if you can afford it, or buy one share if you've got $500 spare at the end of each month. Buy one share of the SPY at the end of every month, and by the time you're ready to retire, you will be a millionaire. Simple as. Okay. If you want something that's going to make bigger gains and you can afford to have a bit of palpitations, then look at something like the TQQQ. You're going to have, on average, about 30% gain annually. Was certainly what it's shown over the last while, because it's a leveraged ETF times 3 based on the NASDAQ 100. So the QQQ is the NASDAQ 100. It's an Invesco ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100, the tech stocks, and it goes up anywhere between kind of 10 and 15% on average. So averaging about 12% year over year over the last 15, 20 years, whatever. And then if you do the TQQQ, which it tracks the same stocks, but is leveraged 3 times. So as it pulls back 3 times as much. But as it goes, so in the long term, you're going to gain 3 times as much. And in the long term, you're looking at like a 30% annual return. So why wouldn't you do that? Because of those pullbacks can be so severe. Because it's leveraged, if you're not averaging down on those pullbacks, you will end up losing that equity. It's that, well, if you get it at the top, that is. So just be careful with that. When you're up at the extended like it is and you start investing in something like this, you want to be conscious of the fact that as it's pulling back, you want to be averaging down at the end of each month. That's the markets covered. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a fat guy on the internet with an opinion. It's they track exactly the same, Mark, but it depends on who you trust with your money. I mean, State Street versus Invesco versus the pro. It's you know, it's like, do you go to JP Morgan or do you go to Bank of America? It's your personal preference. Yeah, absolutely, Adam. If there's escalation in the Middle East, you'll see the price of gold spike. Absolutely, always do. Well, there's that much to it. At least I've got skin in the game there, Oscar. Actually, Lewis, I'm a momentum trader, trade equities. Whilst I do trade options occasionally, and it's my own balance, my own money, as opposed to prop firm. I do trade options. Tends to be around earnings because I take advantage of the volatility around earnings and the larger cap stocks for options. So I'll swing trade options rather than day trading. Day trading, I look for equities. I look for stocks that have got a catalyst, that are having a bit of intraday momentum, got a bit of intraday volatility, and capitalize on the range created by that intraday volatility. That's how I trade there, Lewis. If you stick around, you'll see it. You see it for yourself. Do this every day. They get it because they go to a college and they learn the textbook versions, Oscar. So they learn the textbook advice from economics books, and they look at historical events, and they try and mirror those historical events to current affairs, and that's how they give advice. But they've no skin in the game themselves. Otherwise, if they were good at the job. And most of these financial analysts are not that very good at the job. Otherwise, they will be in the actual finance market and not in media circles. Just saying. Like I said, Lewis, I'm a momentum trader. Don't need the back test. With the strategy that I've got, it sorts me out fairly well. And it works in any market, oh, most markets. Market's still breaking highs right now. Tuesday broke new high of day. Absolutely, John. I mean, why would you... The thing is, you get these advisors, financial advisors, that they're telling you to buy into this fund and that fund and the other fund, and you just look at the markets. Which ETF is performing the best out of all the ETFs? And look if there's a particular sector you like, if there's technology sector, consumer discretion, there's an ETF that concentrates on that. If it's oil and gas, if it's media, there's an ETF that concentrates on that. There's even ETFs for crypto now, for crying out loud. So whatever it is that you like, you can just lump your money into that, and you can buy a bunch of shares in ETFs now, and not have to worry about picking individual companies and doing it that way, because that's what a lot of these financial advisors will do anyway. So yeah, just if you, the majority of financial advisors do not perform better than the market. So that in terms of they hold, you give them your money to invest, they will perform worse than if you stick it in the SPY or SPX or whatever it is. If you stick it in the S&P 500 and you just dollar cost average or lump sum average every month, however much you can afford, buy one share. If you can afford it, if it's like the SPY, for example, so you look at the SPY, and that's another one there. So who was it that just act? Oh, it's Mark. Okay, so look at the SPY. Okay, SPY, $500 a share. It tracks the S&P 500. Okay, you got the VOO, which is 471 share. It tracks the S&P 500, but it's slightly cheaper. So you can get ETFs that are slightly cheap if you, depending on how much you can afford. Look at your ETF. What is it tracking? What is its track record, etc. And buy a share in it at the end of every month. If you can't afford a SPY share, buy a VOO share or another S&P ETF equivalent. Just leave it there and keep doing that every month, and you'll get the magic of finance. And this is it really is magic, and they don't teach you this in school. Is compounding. Okay, because you have the effect of compounding. So you buy a share this month and the price of that share goes up by X amount, and what you make on that, you then gain on that as well. So it compounds, and the money that's in there compounds over time, and you get absolutely fantastic results over time with compounding. And they don't teach you that at school, and they should do. Mike, I would love to see that if he did. Will Smith, Chris Rock style. That would be great, wouldn't it? I was looking at that the other day, Oscar, and since I started, net profit 3.1. That's 3.5. Nearly 4 years. It'll be 4 years. No, it is. It's 4 years this month. It is. It's 4 years. To be fair, the first year I didn't make much at all. In fact, I lost money. Well, not the first. I would say the first 9 months. It took me about 8 months to start seeing consistent profitability. So I didn't make anything in probably in the first year at all. First 12 months, I hadn't made anything. So I was probably break even after 12 months. Not at all, Oscar. Not even close. Not even close. CEO I was working with was getting that kind of money annually, and a lot of them do. especially bank CEOs. They're getting absolutely, John. And it's the stock options that make the balance, make the difference. A lot of CEOs don't actually take a wage as such. They have a salary that's in line with the other directors of the company, but that salary is it's a token, is what it is. They're getting more out in equity than they're getting in salary. Most CEOs are getting more in equity than salary, and bonuses, of course. Well, it depends on when your options mature. So they get options the same way you can buy options on the market. They get options, but they only mature at a certain. It's usually 12 months, but then it's a rolling thing. So you get the options mature at 12 months, then you can start selling at any time after that. But you'll get additional options on a quarterly basis. That's what tends to happen at board level. I know because that's where I was. And I was getting options, and you could either sell it or you can hold on to it. Most executives will hold on whilst they're still actively employed. If they've got a significant amount, they might sell some to release some cash. A lot of employees from some of the larger tech stocks, for example, and some of the larger S&P companies, they give up stock options to just any employees based on tenure. So if you're over 2 years in tenure, then you'll get introduced into an equity program. So I've got friends that work for Google, for example, and they're not particularly high up, but they've got quite a lot. They've been there like 10 years or whatever, so they got quite a lot of stock. In fact, one of them just got married there a couple of years ago, and he sold a portion of his Google shares to pay for the wedding. There you go. Yes, Lewis. Do I ever get liquidated? I've blown up my account twice this year. But to be fair, I started it with 10k. So I had a bit of an emotional meltdown live on camera twice. So yes, I have had my account liquidated twice. Well, actually, if I go back to when I started, that's 5 times. 6 times if I include the small account challenges that I've done. I did a $500 small account challenge and got liquidated on that, and then I got a 10k. Started with 10k in February, built it up to over 30k, and ended up getting liquidated on that. And then again, a little while later, I did another 10k, and well, that was another while later. Traded like a dog in February. A couple of reasons why that happened, but largely down to emotional trading. On SPY, breaking highs. Well, no problem, Matt. My pleasure. And that's the thing with so many gurus, if you will, that they're actually morons. They represent, but they don't tell it like it is. They try and get you to spend their money so they can do whatever on their behalf, or open an account with their trusted so that you can get a hit back and commissions on what you spent. And it's all a scam. Too many scammers on social media, so just be careful. I started trading live basically because the reason I started trading live is trading is a lonely occupation if you're doing it on your own. Now, if you're doing it amongst friends, you get an office and, you know, you've got people around you doing the same thing, like-minded, that's great. But if you're on your own, it's very, very lonely, and it's quite stressful as well. So I started trading and doing it live, more for company than anything else. Then people started asking me to teach them how I did it and what I was doing, etc. So I put a course together for people to learn my methodologies and strategies. And I know I deviate from it from time to time myself, which is why I always say, do as I say, not as I do, because sometimes I'll take a punt, like a YOLO punt, that very, very often it'll come off. But it means risking a lot more than I recommend people do. I'm a lot more aggressive than I teach people to be. So that's one thing. But yeah, try and be open as honest is one thing, because trading is not easy. If you think it's a get-rich-quick scheme, you're in the wrong game. If you're going to trade Forex, buy funds, I'm telling you. So people will get you into trading Forex, and they'll not tell you they've got a 7-figure account and that's why they're making money at it. And they'll be putting big numbers into their Forex trades to make small numbers out the back end. But ticking over, those small numbers add up. So they're earning a good living trading Forex on big positions that move incrementally small pieces. Forex is a mug's game. It really is. Unless you've got a big account, you're not going to make money. And the statistics will tell you that. Okay? Over 97% of people that trade Forex, never profitable. They always lose. If you're talking about equities and futures, that number is less. But in terms of day trading, I think it's about 89% of all day traders lose money and are never profitable. And why is that? Well, they give up before they hit that consistency, and that's why. So you've got this cycle of people entering the market, getting frustrated, getting bored, losing money, and before they actually get the drop on the strategy, and before they actually start being disciplined with the trading, they start losing money, and then they change direction and they go somewhere else, and they give up. Most people are not profitable within the first 2 years. I was fortunate that I took to it fairly well, but then again, I was also fortunate that I came into it at a very bullish time. Everything had just fallen off a cliff with the in the April that I started. Everything had fallen off a cliff with the COVID lockdown and stuff. So it wasn't difficult to buy and make money at that stage. It was volatile, and everything was. It was a real hot bull market. Then we had a crypto bull market that was allowing you to make money as well. So I was fortunate that I was able to learn my craft in a market that you could make money in, and I still lost money. So put that into, make of that what you will. I've got my dog. She's here. Everybody say hi to Miyako. Fast asleep. Miyako. Are you asleep or are you dead? Okay, she's awake. Hey. Come. No, you lazy ass. She got thrown in the swimming pool yesterday and she nearly drowned. I thought dogs could swim. She's too fat. She's a good dog though. Yeah, and that's why we're all trading besties here. I'm going to change the channel name to either Degenerate Trading or Trading Besties. I've not quite decided which yet. There's not a lot moving today. It really is a terrible pre-market. Rent the Runway's moving again. not on good volume. It wasn't on good volume on Friday, so but I shouldn't have actually taken the trade, but I did based on what happened with it on Thursday. So I'll wait for the volume to kick in. What are you watching, guys? Yeah, Mark, you're probably right. She's the one snoozing away, snoring away. That's the market at the moment. There is some smaller ones that are moving, some low price ones. They're not quite at the level I like. And anybody start talking about SNGX, I've already explained why I took that trade earlier. That was a penny's trade. Just figuring my... Yeah, ONVO popped up earlier and then popped back down again, so... Looks like it's testing highs again. So ICCM... ONVO, those are the two momentum stocks right now, but they're under $2, so I probably shouldn't touch them. My rules: I'll wait for something over $2. Either one of these can reach $2 and enter the arena, or I'll wait for something else. And I like the fatty liver treatment catalyst on Organovo, ONVO. It's a nice catalyst. I was diagnosed as having fatty liver there about 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Longer, 10 years ago, 10 years ago. And I'm happy to say I don't have it anymore. I'm still alive, absolutely. I didn't do anything. I don't know why it changed. It's like when I moved to the Philippines as well, it's like I lost a lot of weight. I didn't change anything specifically. My diet changed for the climate, I guess. But I didn't really change a lot. I wasn't specifically trying to lose weight or anything. In fact, what's probably happened is because I'm trading at night time, I'm not drinking as much. That's probably what it is. So I still have a drink at night when I finish trading, but I don't drink as much. So, well, for those who've been with me the longest, this time last year, it wouldn't have been uncommon for me to be sat here in Power Hour and into the close with a bottle of wine, having had a good day with a bottle of wine, just looking at watching the earnings and televising the earnings or streaming the earnings or whatever it is for one of the big names. And I'll have had a bottle of wine, a second bottle of wine or whatever, and it's just me. So don't do that anymore. I'll share a bottle of wine. Oh, food. I do, Lewis. But there you go, John. Yeah, come on, guys. We've got just under 45 minutes before the market actually opens, and I think we're probably going to be waiting till the market opens. Where the market's looking right now, we're probably going to wait till the market opens before we see anything worth taking a trade on. So smash that like button. Smash that like button. You can get access via joining the YouTube channel there, Lewis, or taking the course. It's a private Discord. It isn't open to just anybody. Yeah, let's get another 16 likes on the old YouTube. Let's smash the like. Just tap the screen a bunch of times. Let's get those likes up on TikTok. I'm only streaming in the 2 places until I find a better alternative to Restream. Restream was causing a lot of latency and buffering, so I'm looking for, if you know something, a service like a multicasting service that's good with low latency and little to no buffering, let me know and I'll check it out, because right now I'm only streaming to both TikTok and YouTube. I want to be able to get back on Twitch and Rumble and Twitter and everywhere else. Morning, Neith. No worries, Lewis. Enjoy your day, buddy. Finally opened an options account with CMEG as well. I don't know why I did it. I just they pushed Mark. I've succumbed to the marketing. I'll still be trading my options with Interactive, but I've now got the option to trade options with CMEG. So finally opened an account with CMEG. There's no money in it yet, but what I'll do at the end of this month, instead of withdrawing any profits, I'll just move them across into the options account. And that way I can, if I want to trade options with CMEG, I want the option to trade options with someone other than Interactive. That, you know, like I've got the option to day trade equities with someone other than CMEG. So I'm not totally reliant on the one broker or the one place or whatever for either or. Options are great for swing trading, John. But the problem is that if you buy the expiry too quick, or too soon, you end up losing everything, and that's the risk with options as opposed to with trading equities. The problem with if you leave it for the contract to expire, that is. But with increased volatility around earnings, we're now entering earnings season again, I thought, well, if I see something that's got, you know, round earnings, I can just take a trade in Dad's Trader and have that there waiting. At least you know what you're risking with options as well. You can buy put, which is like going short, but you've got a capped risk with options, whereas in theory you can make infinite losses with equities going short. Is it me, or is the market need someone to poke it with a stick right now? Indonesian Energy, after that pop, has gone red on the day. Go figure. That. Oh my goodness. I've just been contacted by a guy called Grant Quackenbush. That's a great surname, Quackenbush. For a consultation request. I'll have a look at it, Morg. I need to ahead of the earnings. I get the prices. I get a quote from the broker, which is also I'm going to get a quote from CMEG and Interactive for the options ahead of time, and then I look at if I'm buying today, if I'm going to get a straddle or a strangle on Netflix in this case, I'll need to see where the break even is. So then if I see the break even up or down, and then how much, I'll look at how volatile it has been over the last 4 quarters, and I'll weigh that up and say, look, is it likely that it will be that kind of, it will reach that break even level? And if it is, or if it's going to be close, then I might take either a strangle or a straddle and see what happens. So the likelihood is I'll probably take an options position, Morg. Yeah. Trading options directly it's a different beast. I trading with a smaller account, I'm not going to do it. When I have a larger account, I like doing it's fine. But options gives you an opportunity to take advantage of that volatility. So, for example, here we go. Tech time, trading lesson time. Taking a strangle position. It's a complex option. It's not that complex, to be fair. Taking a strangle. Let's just go across to Netflix now and take a look. So if I want to take a strangle on Netflix now with an expiry for Friday, for example, I'd get a price. So it's 628 right now. So I'd buy puts at. You can do it either which way. So I'd buy puts at 628 and calls at 629. So there's $1 between them. Okay, so that's known as a strangle. Then you've got straddle, which is it's very similar but slightly different. So I'm buying options contracts slightly out of the money on both calls to the bullish side or puts, which is the bearish side. I'm buying them both slightly out of the money, knowing full well that the volatility of earnings will come in. And then I might then get my break even, which covers the cost of both contracts. My break even might be down here at, let's say, 622 or up at 635, for example. I've then got to look at when was the last earnings for Netflix. How much did it move intraday? How much did it gap between the and let's have a look. So how much would it normally move? So I think the last earnings was on, let's see, in January, wouldn't it? Yeah. So huge gap up in January. It closed on the 23rd of January. The close was 492, and it opened up at 537. So what's that? $45. So me saying if the break even here was like $5 or $6 or whatever it is that it is. I know full well based on the last one, but I'll look at multiple, the average volatility on the last 3 or 4 earnings plays, and then I take the average and say, does that meet my expectation in terms of the volatility, either up or down? And if it does, then I'll take my break even. Now, in that situation, if it moves $10 and I'm in for $5, it means I'll get, let's just say I've got one contract, one put, one call. They equate to 100 shares. So if I take one contract and it moves $10 and my break even is $5, then it doesn't matter if it's up or down. It means that I'm now $500 in profit because of 100 contracts. Now the idea is, and it'll be like not very expensive to do that. Now the idea is you take a lot more than just one contract. You might take 10 or 20 contracts. 10 contracts, you make $5,000 off it as opposed to $500. 20 contracts, 10 grand off it as opposed to $500. however much you can afford in that particular scenario, knowing full well the risks. Now, the risks are that there is no volatility and you don't hit that break-even level. In which case, you get the devaluation of the contract, and it potentially could expire worthless. So the cost of the contract is the risk that you're taking with that particular play. Yeah, absolutely, Morg. So I took 3 options plays on the same one. I took Apple, Amazon, and Meta on the same night. And Amazon, Apple. I lost money. The contracts expired worthless, pretty much. Amazon covered the cost of my Apple trade and the Amazon trade, so I kind of broke even on the two, and I made an absolute killing on Meta. But that was, I think that was that not January as well? I think that was January. Not last year. I think it was January. We were on the same day. It doesn't always work. That's the thing. It does work more often than not. You take a strangle around around earnings time for these kind of stocks, and very often you will get above break. So if you make, although you're putting, let's say you're putting between 10 and 15k into the trade, and if you make $500, where's the difference than if you're buying 300 or 3,000 shares of a $5 stock to make $500? It's or 5,000 shares of a $3 stock to make $500. Same sort of thing, but you're just doing it overnight. So you've got to put it all into perspective. How much do I expect? How much do I want to earn? How much am I risking versus how much? The difference being with options is your risk tends to be a lot larger if you're doing it in that way with a very short expiry than if you're doing it buying equities, because you wouldn't risk 12k to make $500 trading equities. See what I mean? It's worth looking at. Trading options is a nice. So, there's a little on the course. There's a little introduction to options on the course. And I've not sent that video to Alistair. I will do. There's a little introductions to trading options, and once you start getting consistent at day trading equities, then you want to use part of your gains for other things. Of course, the main one should be longer term investing, but also you want to look at swing trading perhaps, and I've got a swing trading course available as well, but also look at options, and options is a part of your swing trading strategy as well. So yeah, now smash that thumbs up button, guys. We've got less than half an hour and not a single person has smashed that thumbs up button since the last time I asked 15 minutes ago. So it seems to me like either you're not listening to me or you're just intent on being a bit of a leech today. So if you've not smashed the thumbs up button yet, guys, and more than half of you haven't, go and do it now. You know you want to. Do it now. To be fair, there's not a lot of movement at all at the moment. We've just got to wait, and waiting is patience is an absolute essential discipline that you need to master if you're going to be a day trader, because sometimes it'd be like this. Sometimes there's just nothing to trade, and you've got to have the discipline to sit on your hands and maybe have a no trade day. I'm not saying that that's going to be today, but if it is, it is. Get used to it. Get to the point where you can satisfactorily, I don't even know if that's a word, but if it isn't, it is now, that you can satisfactorily walk away from your desk after being sat there for 2-3 hours and walk away having not taken a trade and be happy with it. Because sometimes the best trade is the one you don't take. Well, looks like Marin Software is getting some news, just halted. And we're getting Gorilla Tech's getting some news, also halted. Both kind of sub $1 stocks, but let's see what the news is. Oh, Gorilla's $6 something. Brr. So big spike up. That must be a reverse stock split. All these lines. Let me see. Is that a reverse stock split? Or is it something a little bit more interesting? Gorilla Technology Group. In your own time, Benzingizinger. Yeah, 10-to-1 reverse stock split, Gorilla Group. Gorilla Technology, Lana launch, putting edge security convergence device to transform cybersecurity landscape. That's what they're saying. But they've announced a 1-for-10 reverse stock split. So that's why it's gapped up from 60 cents to $6. So $6 is the equivalent closing price from Friday as a result. So it's not up that much, 20 cents right now. No volume though. So Marin, let's have a look at what the news is there. I think that's also a reverse stock split. Marin Software. Yeah, looks like it. Seeing the news on when this was approved, but yeah, it's a reverse stock split. One for six reverse stock split was announced 2 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah, so it was $2.94. Oh no. Equivalent of $2.94 last on Friday, the closing price. That's all. It's 6-to-1 reverse stock split. Reverse is always bad. Why'd you say that, Adam? I had a reverse stock split. One of my biggest ever trades was on a reverse stock split. Sold off. I bought the bottom, and it rallied and went up years ago. Yeah, get him. Absolutely. This is my bedroom. It's I've got the loft that I've not got into yet, so I'll be moving into the loft in the next week or so. I've just not got round to it. I've been too busy enjoying the sunshine and everything else. So yeah, I moved 2 weeks ago and not had a chance to set up the office yet. That will be upstairs. Right now, trading from my bedroom. Not always, Adam. Not always do they lose value. In fact, what tends to happen is stocks like Marin and Gorilla, and they do these reverse stock splits to maintain compliance with the stock exchange. What tends to happen is they will then put out some good news, people will get on the board with the stock split, they'll move the price up, and then they'll hit the market with a secondary offering, which will then tank the price down to kind of $1.50, and then they'll start losing value again. And then they'll fall below $1, and then they'll be in breach of NASDAQ compliance regulations again. So they'll get a warning, and then they'll reverse the reverse stock split again. So, and it's a constant cycle of secondary offerings and reverse stock splits, and secondary offerings and reverse stock splits. Maintain compliance and to pay the bills with additional money by hitting the market with secondary offerings, and it ends up pretty much the same cycle of numbers. And that's why I say don't put these kind of stocks in your portfolio, because they're garbage companies. Well, get him. I did say I'm not the top. I've said that. I said I'm top three. Top three. Might not be the top one, but I'm not saying I'm top, but top three. I'm not saying I'm the best. Tell me what it is they're getting. Are you trying to provoke my ambitious nature, aren't you? I want to get up there for the and be considered the top. Yeah. I know what you're up to. Hey Chesty, how you doing? Oh, talking, just reminded me, I'm feeling a lot better today. Still got a bit of a tickly chest, but this day last week I was all over the place. I was just not feeling it at all. Why is these scanners not moving? Needed to give it a refresh in the base platform. I think Ben Zinger was thinking I needed to be logged out, and that was idle, so I needed to give it a bit of a refresh. Now it's done. I'm not seeing anything. Why do you think that's a nice play today? Was it sold off? The question is, why is it sold off? Let me just have a quick look, because if it's sold off, on the basis of some terrible news, why would it be a good play? Donald Trump. Trump and Media Technology Group are trading lower after the company filed a prospectus related to the issuance of 21.5 million shares of common stock issuable upon the exercise of warrants. So basically, they're hitting the market with another offering. The prospectus also relates to the offer and sale by selling security holders of up to 146 million shares. Yeah. Trump Media, according to this one, Trump Media is the Donald's next company to go bankrupt. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, that's why DJT is selling off. So I wouldn't say that's a good play right now, Adam. But you know, I would prefer the reverse stock split than the sell-off on the offering news, personally. So I think you and I are looking at things from arse over tit ways from each other today, Adam. Trails or trials get him? Well, shift fall. What tends to happen is when a company announces a secondary offering or that they're hitting the market with additional shares, they're diluting the value of those already existing shares. So what's happening is everybody that's got shares, if they hold them, they lose value. So what they do is they offload them, and the price actually the price falls, and that's the result. In the most cases, there are exceptions, but in 95% of all secondary offerings, the price tanks by as much as 60%. To be fair, you're probably right on both counts. One of his criminal trials starts today, but they're probably looking for criminal trials in the criminal trial. So S&P 500's breaking highs still. Let's just look at this on the daily again. Back up towards 520 and all is forgiven. Like we were. I mean, let's just where were we the last time we was here? So the last time I was here was down here, was a month ago. So basically, 19th of March was the last time we were at this level, prior to coming back down. If we go back up again, we've lost a month's activity. That's it. I could say that this was the first time we breached the level, which would have been the beginning of March. So that's what, 5 weeks. 5 weeks of ups and downs, and we're back at the same place. So that's hardly crash worthy. Although if you look with the 9 and the 12, we're very close to getting a death cross there. If it had been a bearish day today, we'd probably get a death cross. Zoom right in. Oh, it's very close to a death cross there. It's right on the cusp. So if it sells off today and doesn't rally, you get what's known as a death cross when the 9 falls below the 20. Not saying that is a time to go, buy a bunch of puts or anything like that. But some traders, that's what they'll trade, is the moving average crossover strategy. So the golden cross is when the 9 goes from below to above the 20, and the death cross is when it goes from above to below the 20. So just saying. I mean, it's not like I've got much else to talk about right now. I've got 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes before the market opens, and there's not really a lot happening on the market. So this useless information that I'm spewing out of my mouth, do with it what you will. You don't have to get him in jail, they just have to convict him. If he's convicted of a felony, it doesn't matter whether he goes to jail or not. If he's convicted of a felony, as a convicted felon, he is no longer allowed to hold political office. He doesn't have to go to jail. Yeah, I mean, get green, stay green. I mean, I've managed to get green by accident, so. You should join Day Trade with Tony Shift-Trail. You get a lot of books and me as well. Telling you what to look for, or what I look for. Don't think they can, John. I don't think you're allowed to hold political office. I'll double check that, but I don't think you can. All right, there you go. You learn something new every day. Every day's a school day. He could run for office from a prison cell, apparently. Again. Yeah, but I mean, look at the volume on it, Mike. All right, Mike. Do what's known as a gap and crap, and it's done it before. Look at this on the daily, okay? So it gapped up here on the 5th of this month, gapped up quite significantly, and look at the volume. Look at all the volume, huge volume. It went up to 180. It didn't even get over $2. It went up to 188 on the 5th in the regular session. I think it might have been over $2 briefly that day. If I'm on the back of my own memory, I think it did get over $2 on the day. Oh, that's that 5th. Have a look. That's 5th. Yeah, pre-market. No, it didn't. It went up to 189. So it's been up as high as 248 pre-market, but nothing saying it'll get over $2 just because of the volume. I mean, just looking at the volume here, it's much more volume here than even those, more volume here than there is here. So not sure about that. just over 5 minutes to the bell. Apparently, Hub Cybersecurity shares trading higher after the drone attack. That's the catalyst. So, average 3 million volume. It's already done 16, so it is higher relative volume. It's recycled its float almost twice now. 8.7 million in the float. Oh, for good lord. I'm gonna have to get rid of that again. That's since I set up the options account. I'm gonna go news. Looking at Hub C now, there's no range on it. Like 2 cents. No range, it's not volatile at all. It's 32% up on the day, but right now it's not at all volatile. I mean, look at these dojis. The volume's not great at the moment. The range is absolutely atrocious. There's no trade there for me. It has to change. Could very well change in 3 or 4 minutes. Probably will. DXYZ, again, no volume. Lacks volume. There's some big range on it. I mean, there's some big moves on it, but the spreads are like 40 cents. The spreads are bigger than the ATR, 1 minute ATR. You got 45 cents on the spreads, 40 to 45 cent spreads, 34.5 cents on the 1 minute ATR. So for me, no, I would not. There's no trade there. Too risky, but there's just not enough volume. Biggest volume candle so far is 11K. Most of the volume is less than, this morning is less than 10K. We've got a volume spike at 8 o'clock, which with the algo scrums, but that doesn't count. Yeah, so all the volumes less than 10K on the 1 minute. So yeah, I wouldn't touch that. Range is the range, 1 minute range doesn't cover the spreads, and the volume is very poor. So DXYZ, Destiny Tech 100, no, absolutely not. You do you, booby. That's not financial advice. You go in there and you can lose your money on your own back. Do your own due diligence. Do not blame me if it takes off and you're left kicking yourself. Are you still holding bags on that one, Puno? I'm not seeing anything worth. I'm not watching anything specifically right now. I don't have a watch list this morning. Well, I hope you learn something every day, Shift though. Yeah, don't count on level 2 shift fail. It's not reliable as an indicator to use to trade on. Level 2, two things. Sometimes orders are spoof orders, they get cancelled before they execute. So you'll see an order and it doesn't execute. It gets cancelled. Secondly, you'll get people hiding the true size of their orders. They can place an order and it might be significantly bigger than what they're actually got there. So level 2 is not a good indicator to use. It can be spoofed. And not only can it be spoofed, it does get spoofed. Well, good luck, guys. Let's see what the market throws at us. I've not even watched. There's nothing I'm actually watching right now that I think is worth holding on to. And you guys are watching Hub Cyber. So key level for me would be kind of 190. Polarity Therapeutics way below the VWAP. This has been beaten up on the daily for quite some time now. Spreads on this 30, 40 cents. 50, 30, yeah. 40 cents, 60 cents on the spreads there. Yeah, I'll stay away from that today. Third day, you know, never as reliable. Third day. Yeah, medical properties over $5 now. Broke that $5 and into the button. Yeah. Low price stock, Sologenics, good catalyst, and halted to the upside. Looking like a level resumption, 86 cents, but this might get over $1 today. See? Not a lot of else moving. A dial, maybe. Don't, inconsistent volume profile there. Back to longer there on. Can we get over the VWAP? 255. Yeah, well, DTA, gold might look bearish right now, but watch if there's escalations in the Middle East, watch gold take off. Not that I really want to be talking about commodities. It's not a commodities trading channel. Right. At the VWAP, is it going to take it? Quite a lot of sellers at 55, but not over them. Snap one. No volume. Moment. Oh, excuse me. Equities there, DTA. MPW back over $5, Adam. Don't trust that. 530s and then dip. Nothing seems to be staining. On the Veron's probably, this is probably the better looking one, but I don't like. It's not, doesn't seem to have the momentum right now. It's not exactly going parabolic, is it? Goes over $3 pre-market. SNGX, Polygenics, about to test. Looking like it's trying to test the dollar. That was while it was halted, shift fail. That was while it was halted. What's my edge? I don't like it. It's just not got the. We're getting declining volume. It looks like this volume spike here looks like a volume top. Now, if we get increasing volume, maybe looking, we've got resistance there at 280. It's actually 278, but got resistance at 278. That's when that's the pivot high here at 7 o'clock this morning. There you go. I don't think I've ever had one for overtrading, Pernod. IBRX up over 550s now. Nice little spurt. Yeah, 279, 280, and if it can head over that pivot high there, the pre-market high is 315, so you're way off that. Well, I like the gap and go, which, I mean, you've got a bit of a dip and rip from the SPY. The actual market itself, look like that. Put a cup and handle and break the pre-market high. Let's have a bit of a cup and handle now. We've got the cup, let's have the handle. Longer bear and just broke that 278 level. Let's look, can we find something worth trading here? There we go, we're green. Whole dollar resistance. We'll look for a pullback and confirmation. Nice. Bullish if it breaks that pre-market high. Whole dollar bounce on the move back up to test that pre-market high. And we get. Might take me to goal on a Monday. Ooh, not quite. And pre-market high of 315 again. Breaking new lows on a 1 minute. No. Rent suspended? No, it's not. It's just moving right now. I mean suspended. Was it halted? Or is your rent just got suspended? I don't know. Rent the runway. It's at 1740s right now. On Weeble maybe. Well, that's what I'm looking for, Stanford. Which is why I said the pre-market high is what is the watch now? It's 315. High of this candle is 310. Maybe pull back, a bounce on the 9, and then a continuation. I'm not touching it below 3. Okay. And that's confirmation. I want to see some increase in volume over whatever these red candles are, and then maybe break the pre-market high again. At least a retest of the pre-market high. Why would you do that? And you're still holding it, Puno? Saying nothing. Up at 83 cents at the moment for shift fail. Bounced on the VWAP, it looks like, but you really want to see it get over it, make a new high and start testing the dollar. I have this one 304, so 3% at the very earliest. We've hit the 9. Can we get a new high? First candle makes a new high after bouncing on the 9. Yeah, absolutely shift failed. Well, don't ignore it, but don't put so much weight on it. The best thing is price that. Price at 310. Increase in volume on this candle. You can get over 310. We'll come back to longer in a moment. Bible brands halted. Okay. I'll have a look at that in a second. Bible brands innovation group shares halted. Doesn't say why. Not seen any specific catalyst for Kybal. I've seen that move before on low volume as well, so it is on low volume. 310 again. Looks like it's flat topping there. Can we get 315? That's what I've been watching, which is the pre-market high. Use your level 2 as confirmation. Shift fail, don't use it as an indicator. Use it as a confirmation of other indicators. we're getting higher lows here. So there's what's known as a flat top, an ascending wedge into a flat top, and typically will break upwards. Got the 9 as your descending support, and you got 310 as your flat top resistance. Well, there you go, Cast. That's the true. That's actually true confirmation. $314 on this candle. Still waiting for it to break that pre-market high. Not saying it will do. We're getting a. There we go. Won't be doing that to me. I was right about the flat top breakout, but decided to add instead of taking profits. I'm looking for the whole dollar bounce. That's a terrible thing. What about Envo, Adam? It's down at 132. It's underneath the VWAP selling off. MNDR over. Trying to hold 17, pull back, rejected at 18, trying to hold 17. I want to see this go back and retest those highs. Oh, there's a lot of bag holders then sold. Yeah, rent is hemorrhaging, and rightly so. Rent the runway. I'll move this up. Risking 36 cents, and that's just way too much. I'm not going to make 36 cents on it. Caught in a flush. Yeah. A bit in worse situations. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. Mobile Health Network. Volume's not great. Spreads are wicked wide, 30 cents. 25, 30 cents on the spread. We got 50, nearly got 48 cents on the ATR. It's 18, I might take small position. 18 is the high of the day. $0.05 spreads right now. NASDAQ 18. I'm holding up there at 1790s. Get over 18. And ATR. Yeah, it's just a bit too risky though. That's the thing, because the ATR 50, 25-30 cents on the spread. Probably not that 2-to-1 minimum that you look for. It is the top momentum stock right now. It's the up. Rival Brands is actually the top momentum stock to the upside. $46. So this has been halted for the last 10, 11, 12 minutes. So this is looking at a $5 resumption right now. So Rival Brands. I'm not saying trade it, just saying it's looking like a huge gap up from 330. Again, it looks like we're getting a bit of a ascending wedge into this flat top again here. Wait for the right opportunity. OMVO entry, really? As long as it's below the VWAP, I wouldn't get in below the VWAP at all. VWAP's at 150 and wait for the action. But it needs to get reclaim the VWAP, test it as support and move higher. So right now I'll probably say 160 is the earliest I'd look at OMVO, but that's just my opinion. Not financial advice. And the runway looks like it's trying to curl back up towards 18. That is not a great day for anything right now. No, absolutely, Bobby. Absolutely. There's no volume on that one, CMD. Hacking. 5-month lithium. Had a look at the spike, the last dollar over the last 5 minutes. $0.10 spreads, that's not bad. 20-cent spreads. 20-cent spreads, 35-cent ATR, not bad. Five-month lithium. Breaking new lows. cents. And very 15 cents on the spreads. 20 cents. 25 cents. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on that one, Alistair. I've always got that top of my little list there. 2.7% up on the day. I love it. Yeah, Mike, you and me both, but I don't know. I've just got a feeling that we're going to find something that moves nice. It's just about being patient. You can't force the market to do your bidding. It's just about being patient and waiting for that one stock and taking your profits. That's another big thing. Don't get greedy. Days like today when there's not a lot moving, don't get greedy. Yeah, well, just be patient, guys. Be patient. Plenty of time left in the day. It's only 10 o'clock. But like I was saying earlier, sometimes walk away with a red day. I don't particularly want to walk away with a red day. I want to keep this green streak going. But walk away with a red day. It's better than digging a bigger hole. Doesn't have the volume to support. Looks nice on the 2-minute chart, but pull it to 550. Confirmation of 550 maybe. Veron looks like it might be trying to curl back up. Over the VWAP, you get a nice golden cross. No, it's not. The one that I've got at the back of me is a momentum scan. It shows up and down. The other one is surging stock to the upside. Don't call. One's a movers and one's a scanner. No worries, Matt. Like, any green's good. Green, if you break even, then it's just a meh day. What's known as a meh day. Not seeing anything that's really getting my juices flowing just yet. Time. I've still got time. I'm like Mr. Incredible. Maybe later. In fact, no, maybe, definitely later. Numora, low volume. A lot of consolidation on MNDR. Mobile health. Gets over 18. Have a look. As it stands right now, wait a minute, of which there's a little bit of a move. Over 18. The recent IPO, by the way, mobile health. It's IPO from last week, and it's had 3 successive green days. It's looking at its 4th, which is something I'm a little bit wary of. If it gets over 18, I think it might be worth. No worries, Lawrence. Liquidity on this isn't great. You know my rules on volume there, Ed? Liquidity on this, not great. Looking at the level 2, huge gaps. Rent the runway gets back over 18, it might be interesting. Not really expecting it to. Yeah, everything right now is either low volume or low volatility, so Edgio's got some volume coming in the last few minutes. So what's going on with Edgio? Not seeing any catalyst for a move. No catalyst. Middle of the day move like that. 30-cent spreads. Yeah, probably don't trust it. How do you make that out? Oh yeah, that's because the markets are sort of pulling back. Buy down at 512. Nvidia's back under 900, following the market. Try and be disciplined. What I'm going to do here, get rid of some of these low volume junk. I'm not tempted. A lot of ETF. A lot of ETF dominating the scanners right now. That's not a good sign. Just basically because the markets are taking a crap. Look at that. $4 drop, or $3 drop, 5.15 to 5.12. $3 drop in 15 minutes. Not on that kind of volume, I can't. We're going to get that final push over 18 on mobile health. Probably not. Yeah, today it's going to be one of the. I think I'm going to sign off with a very small. I say very small. It's daily goal in reverse. Right now. Yeah, there's nothing really jumping out saying, look, a good option. You've got to be not get frustrated that there's no opportunity to make money. It's an easy thing to say that when the markets are, there's nothing available to trade, nothing looking good to trade, then walk away. It's so easy to say, but very often, as degenerate traders as we all are on this channel, when there's nothing to trade, we end up taking boredom trades. We look for something that's half decent, and half decent isn't a good trade. Half decent is going to lose your money. So don't take a half decent trade. Wait for the A+ setup. Sit on your hands if you have to. Walk away. Tapping 18 again on mobile help. I have a feeling when that breaks 18, it's probably going to go 18.50, maybe $19. Lovely little ascending wedge, flat top. Yeah, well, it's not breaking 18 yet. It does, I think, we're in for a nice little burst. Put a nice little stop order there at 1805 or something like that. Stop buy order 1805. If it does break, you can then just sell it quick for a profit. Breaks probably going to go 1825, 1830. Question is, what are the spreads right now? If it goes 1805, it gets up to 1830. Is he going to take the bid with it? Looking at 25 to 30 cents if it breaks on the spread. So you might not get profitable before it pulls back. A lot of just sideways consolidation right now. I think there's probably a lot of uncertainty on the market right now after the Iran attack, the drone attacks in Israel. Topping up there at kind of 22.30, 40 cent spreads now. Don't like it, not enough volume. Longer there, I'm back over 3, I might be interested. Well, I'll give it another 10 minutes. I'll hold on for another 10 minutes. See what the market gives us in the next 10 minutes, and then I'll knock it on the head. Red or green. Sometimes you've got to accept that it's not your day and walk away red. Anybody seeing anything worth? No? Guess not. Oh, let's check my emails. Clearly nothing happening there. Let's see if I've got any consultant gigs coming in. Yeah, it's nothing happening. It's just not worth even considering taking a position on some of what is moving. Like XEO, it's just not got the momentum, even though the spreads are wide, even though it's got a big range, nearly 60 cents, 58 cents on the ATR. Spreads are too big, like 35 cents right now. Not moving up with the momentum that you want to cover those spreads. Everything pulling back. No worries, Stone Cold. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy. Got plenty of time this week to make it back. CXAI got earnings this week. No worries, mate. You too. No worries, Bobby. Don't force it. Look, if it's a day like today, there's not a lot moving. Don't force it. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna end the stream. If you're in the day trade with Tony community, I'll stick around in the Discord for a little bit longer. If I see anything, I'll call it out in the Discord. And likewise, appreciate if you see anything, call it out in the Discord so we can all get a little sniffer at it. Other than that, it looks like it's one of those days where it's either sideways or just no good setup. So don't force it. Don't be throwing good money after bad. Don't dig a hole. If you're in the red right now, take it on the chin. Take the hit. Red days are inevitable, unfortunately. So take it on the chin. Otherwise, we'll be back at it tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. Take it easy.